Show by hand if you're excited to be here and to be a part of this great movement. Thank you. I'm Constance Ahmed, your MC for this event. On behalf of the Planning and Executive Committee, we extend our appreciation for your presence today. For every occasion, there is a purpose, and this afternoon, I'm with much honor to introduce this person. She needs no introduction, but I must say a few words about her. She is the founder of T.E.I Educational Initiative, an ever-motivated, kind-hearted, and outgoing person. As an education enthusiast, she is passionate about helping students understand the benefits of education and to strive for excellence. She is also concerned about training students on leadership. I have worked with her for years now. I've always admired her work ethics and adopted one or few traits of her. She's holding a Master's of Taxation from Southern New Hampshire University. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the founder of T.E.I Education.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
You can do better. Are you happy to be here?
Yeah, we are happy.
I know the time difference with everybody being late, but I'm truly excited. Like Constance said, we are excited to have you up on the various places and activities that is going on. You chose to be here, and for that reason, we appreciate you for being here. We know that you all are leaders, and you want to learn, you want to grow. So thank you very much for that. We have a great event planned for you all. We have great speakers here today, and I hope that each thing that you're going to talk about is going to be beneficial to you all. So with that much, I would like to start off for those of you who are here who do not know what the T.E.I Educational Initiative is all about. Before we jump into the white professional network group, I would like to take this moment to talk about the T.E.I Educational Initiative, what we stand for, what we've been doing over the past years, for you all to get knowledge about that. So, the T.E.I Educational Initiative is a not-for-profit organization that provides educational programs and humanitarian assistance to students across the globe. We start doing that one country at a time. And over the years, we have the privilege of working in Ghana, Haiti, South Africa, and the United States. Our vision is to provide the tools for quality education and essential skills for disadvantaged students. We want to inspire, give hope, inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to students. T.E.I seeks to educate and mentor students through life skills and vocational training, after-school programs, entrepreneurship, and career workshops. Our short-term programs will focus on STEM advocacy, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is STEM. Career development workshops provide scholarship opportunity. As you can see, these are some of our scholars. We provide educational resources, mentorship program, and annual lead program, which is our new program that we have started. Our long-term initiative is focusing on building libraries within schools and the communities, building learning centers for our mentorship program, implementing summer programs, forum with college students on their future as graduates. So I'm actually excited that we actually take a leap of step and then started the YPG program, which was one of our long-term goals, and now we are accomplishing it. We want to also focus on teachers and parent workshop, business forums on entrepreneurship, and T.E.I conferences every 2 years. Our last conference was 2 years ago, and we get ready to start another one. But this year we decided to do the wide professional group instead of having our conference this year. Our services over the years, we have our yearly rotation visit to Haiti, Ghana, and South Africa since 2014 to 2021. We have served over 2,000 students over the years. We have 180 students in our mentorship program yearly. We provide over 7,000 scholarships and over 5,000 learning materials have been distributed to students across Ghana and in Haiti and in South Africa as well. Our lead program, which is Leadership, Empowerment, and Development. Show by hands if you're here, you're part of our lead program. All right, come on, stand, let the audience see you. So these are our lead students. You may take your seat. The Lead Empowerment and Development Program, this is an honor program which gives our students the opportunity to serve as officers within the organization. The goal of the program is to offer our students the opportunity to hold leadership positions within the organization, improving student skills while training them on the daily operations of the organization. This program gives students the opportunity to network with mentors and build on their social and professional skills. Leadership, Empowerment, and Development. We are developing students' leadership skills, which enables them to perform and help the organization to achieve greater impact in the community. We are empowering mentees to recognize their passion, self-confidence, and their ability to reach their full potential. We provide learning tools for mentees to grow and increase performance within the organization, professional and their personal lives. Now, the reason why we are here, the Young Professional Group, YPG, like we call it the YPG. Can everybody say YPG?
YPG.
YPG?
YPG.
Yeah, so that's the reason why we are here today. The T.E.I Young Professional Group offers an outlet for professional development, network and volunteering opportunity in a social setting like we have gathered here today. We provide a channel by which professionals may enhance their personal and professional development through community engagement, mentoring, networking, communication, and advocacy. This is an initiative to educate and empower young professionals and emerging leaders. I believe each and every single one of you are leaders in here. You believe that?
Yeah.
We create opportunity for connectivity, education, and involvement in our community. T.E.I YPG welcomes individuals from the university level to their late 30s. We want to connect professionals as well. So I believe there are professionals among us here, and there are college students among us here also. We want to bring these two groups, and we want to connect with one another. We are building and connecting a generation of leaders to impact the future. Young Professional Group program outline. We want to have an interactive and experiential programs, social opportunities to connect with fellow young professionals, community outreach involvement, leadership, professional and life skills development, mentorship programs, and more. Our upcoming programs, we have grouped them in 3 areas: educational and professional activities, which we focus on resume building, dress for success, and I'm glad a lot of you are dressed for success today. You like that? So we want to focus on dress for success. We've had comments in the past where they're like, we've had people come from interviews and they were not dressed for success. They didn't look like they were even coming for interview. So for our young professionals here, I see that they are dressed for success. And also want to focus on choosing career path, networking activities. We also have our second program which focuses on social activities which include picnics, sexual health awareness, mental health awareness, and mental health advocacy. We have global topics that we would like to address which focuses on racism. I think over the past year you've seen a lot of racial issues going on across the globe, especially in the United States. So these are some of the things that we can discuss. And also You may think global warming does not affect us in Ghana, but the things that goes around the world does affect us irrespective of where you are. So we're going to focus on global warming discussions and also COVID-19 that took over the world and now we are all experiencing. So these are some of the global topics that we would like to discuss within the Young Professional Network group. What's next? We need you to be our advocate. We are looking for board members. If you know anybody who can be a great board member to move this vision forward, YPG is just a sector within TEI, but also we want board members that can carry the vision forward. And we are also looking for volunteers. Not anybody who say, I'm going to do the work, but people who can actually do the work and dedicate themselves to the YPG network to be able to carry the vision forward. So we would like you to be our advocate. Share this, whatever you've learned today here, share with your friend. If you know anybody who can be a great board member or a volunteer, let us know. Thank you guys for listening. Our Q&A will be taken during our speaker icebreaker. Thank you. Now we are next to our speakers. And I'm actually happy that we have great speakers among us. I want to say a lot of things about this first speaker, but I'm going to keep my comment to myself. I see he's already blushing, so I'm going to keep my comment to myself. He's actually a good friend of mine. We've known each other for so many years. I'll go ahead and introduce our first speaker. Prince Afia Adu is our first speaker. Prince is a civic leader, a leadership trainer, a speaker, entrepreneur, and tech consultant with a passion to raise leaders and to help eradicate poverty in Africa. He is a founder and a CEO of 1 Billion Africa, a non-profit movement that inspires and empower African youth to identify problems in their communities and to turn them into projects. Having discovered his passion for Africa and love for humanity at age 17, Prince began building capacity by serving the underprivileged through volunteerism while investing time in youth empowerment. In 10 years, he has led over 45 teams, spoken to 35,000 plus people in 10 countries, and attracted many local and global honors. Prince is a Miles Monroe mentee and a 2-time tech speaker who holds an MA from the University of Ghana Business School in Organization, Leadership, and Corporate Governance. And he's happily married to Georgia and with a son called Miles. With a hand of clap, please help me welcome Prince Afia.
Thank you so much, Viola. Do I get to stand here?
Yes, please. Yes.
I have to stand here?
Oh, you can feel free.
I can't stand at one place like that. Whoa, good to see you. Okay, great. So, at the point I thought it wasn't me you were talking about. I don't know if I can remove this as well since I'm not close by anyone. Forgive me, pardon me for today. A typical me, and Kevin knows, a typical me would just be pacing up and down this place, but I was knocked down with malaria on Saturday and I'm still recovering. so just forgive me. I'm not 100% fit, but she's a sister, and when a sister calls, you answer. Okay. I mean, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. I'm not going to take so much time. Anytime I get an opportunity, I'm a very spiritual person, so anytime I get an opportunity to talk, I pray about it and ask what I should talk about, and I get the inclination I should share my story briefly, and then I'll add something, 1 or 2 minutes, and then we are out of here. I hope we can do that. Yeah. And I don't intend to bore you, so if you're feeling bored, you can say, hey Prince, come on. I'm not feeling here today. So, my story starts, I remember I was in senior high school, and I was thick, tall and all that in school, and I remember Sir Charles. Sir Charles happens to be this man who shipped a lot in school. Nowadays we don't ship in school, but those days, when you're late for school, I mean, that's it. You will take some lashes. Sir Charles called me one time and told me, Prince, I see your stature. I think you should be one of the leaders in the upcoming elections. And my response to Sir Charles was, no, my mother says that I shouldn't stand for any election. I was kidding at the point. The truth is that I was scared. The truth is that I was scared. So he left me alone, and fast forward, my church also called for youth leaders. And that one I couldn't dodge. So I just held on to it like that. That was when I started experiencing, this thing that we call leadership in terms of positions, though I believe that leadership has nothing to do with position. There are a lot of people with positions who are not leaders. So it was age, when was it? 19 or so, 18, when I was supposed to go to high school, that my parents couldn't afford a lot of university forms. Those days it was hard copy forms. So we bought just University of Ghana form. In fact, even that one, we bought it late. Not too far away from the deadline. And those days, they had to get someone to guarantee it for you. So someone to stamp it for you, endorse it for you. My dad couldn't do it because he didn't have the stamp. So he made one of his friends, he contacted him. The guy said, oh, that's fine, take it to my office, took it to the office. The man traveled, and we didn't get access to my form until a day to the deadline. When we confronted him, he got bored, he said he would do it again. And so, I don't know whether it's witchcraft or whatever. I don't know which of them. But we took my form, said, that was when I remembered, oh, my church pastor can do it for me. So I remember it was 3 p.m., deadline was 5 p.m. I ran to my church pastor with the forms. He finished quickly for me. I ran to University of Ghana campus to submit my form. Those days, you have to go there. When I got there, I was 1 hour late. And they told me, we're not going to accept your form because you are late. We have so many people, we are even thinking of, downsizing. So this is easier for us. They just put a form somewhere. That meant that I wasn't going to school. My mates were going to school. It's not that I didn't pass. I passed, but because of situations. That was a gap year for me. And this gap year, I went to work in a bookshop at the same time. I was doing vacation classes for 2 different groups of students. But magic happened in the bookshop, and this is a story I want to share because I'm given a topic leadership to speak for some few minutes. At the bookshop, there was a small radio at the corner. Every morning, we listened to Sunny FM. It was locked down over there. And one time I heard a voice that will turn out to be a voice that will change my life for the rest of my life, It was a voice that said a statement. It was a commercial. It said, every human being was created for a reason. And that reason is what gives you the drive to want to do something in life. I was cleaning my books, heard it. I said, hold on a minute. There was a commercial, it passed. So I had to wait. I don't think it was the next day. The same day, wait for that commercial to come again. It came again, I heard again. Every human being was created for a reason. And that reason is what gives you the drive to want to do something in life. That was the voice of Dr. Miles Monroe. he would go ahead to become my mentor and chief ladder in life. You know, when I heard that it hit me, I started that gap year asking myself, what is the reason that brought me here on planet Earth? You know. So I started questioning myself, and in fact, at the same time, the books on leadership is what I was inclined to. In fact, this is a free tip. If you don't know what you are born to change, or if you don't know what you are passionate about, this is a free tip. Go to a bookshop and just stand there like this. Just face the bookshop. The books that attract you, the ones that attract you, may be a clue. The ones that attract you. Someone will go to a bookshop and only read joiner books. Those are the books that will attract them. Someone only marriage and relationship books. Someone like Viola like this, tax books. Viola and my boss over here, money, finance, tax. And I remember, those are the books that may attract you. It means that you love stuff like that, you know. So it was the books on leadership that drew my attention. That's when I started pursuing leadership. Fast forward, the following year I had saved enough, you know, so we bought University of Ghana tech forms, so many forms. And thankfully, I got them. I went to University of Ghana to study computer science. I met Constance, who is also in the university. Now, 4 years in the university, my challenges still persisted. I studied computer science for 4 years, but I didn't own a computer. I'll borrow my friends' computers to study at night. That is how I learned how to do graphic designing, how I learned to do web designing, how I learned to do so many things. You know, that time when folks are asleep, because I have some few hours, you know, with a computer. And it changed my life. It built a certain entrepreneurship spirit in me. I started a business on campus fixing computers, but I didn't have a computer. You know. I'm sharing this story because I believe leadership is made up of a certain qualities. And thankfully, interestingly, I have found some of these things along my journey. One is persistence. So for 4 years, that was my life on campus. I was fixing stuff, software bugs, you know, hardware stuff. But I had to do it the hard way. Now, something else was happening whilst I was in school for 4 years. This was my passion. You know that voice I heard in the radio station talking about the reason. I also noticed that I was inclined towards social activities. So during vacation, I would usually join my campus church, COP. My boss here is so I'm part of family today. So I'll join them, village evangelism, you know, we'll go. And each time we go, it's really interesting. See, Dobbs was right. He said you can't connect the dots looking forward. You have to finish the journey and then you can now connect the dots looking back. I realized that each time we go, I'll tell my friends, you know what? Yes, we are here to preach Jesus. Amazing, let's do that. But let's also find a school and go and inspire the kids. So in those villages, we'll also go to a school. I remember those days we organized, you know, quiz competition in the school, and it's amazing. One typical example, I remember I went to a school where I saw a little kid. I was 7 years old, and a young girl. I asked her, "Sweetheart, what do you want to become in future?" And she responded as though I dream to. She said a nurse. I was like, "Oh wow, why?" She said, "I saw that one day when my mother is sick, I can take care of her. So that when the people in my community are sick, I can take care of them." It hits me. It hits me. So it's typical stories like this that will bring films of tears in my eye in school when I come back in school. You know, when school reopens or stuff like that. And it was stuff like this that made me commit to this journey. This journey that Viola spoke about. Fast forward, I started a vision called 1 Billion Africa. A non-profit that inspires young people to look within their communities. Don't go far. Look within your community, find a problem, and turn it into a project. And over the years, we've had amazing projects. We've had people from different countries, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Namibia, find problems within their communities to turn into projects. I'm still talking about leadership. Leadership is taking initiative. I believe leadership. Can we say that leadership is taking initiative?
Leadership is taking
initiative. Come on, don't go to all of me. Don't go to all of me. I have malaria, so what? Don't go to all of me. Leadership is taking initiative.
Leadership is taking initiative.
What you just said, I don't want you to keep it to yourself. Anyone you come into contact with, tell them, leadership is taking initiative. Do you know why? Because there's a story in 1 Samuel chapter 6, verse 16, verse 1. One leader had made a mess of himself, Saul. And God Almighty said something by Allah. In 1 Samuel 16, verse 1. He said, find me a man. Find me a man. Find me a man. And I hear that each time that is the same word that God uses. Find me a man. The gender activist, sorry. Find me a woman. Please, when I say man, I mean both a man and a woman. Don't chew me out here. The feminists, I know. It's a very important statement. In fact, through our scriptures, that's what God does. Find me a man, Moses. Find me a man, Samson. Find me a man, Joseph. He's always finding people. And as I bring my message to a close, I want to ask you, have you been found? That's number one. Have you been found? That's number one. If you have not been found, if they are finding you, will you even be available? Find me a man. He found, you know the man he found, David. He was somewhere in the wilderness with sheep. Do you know where sometimes God finds men? He finds them being diligent with the little they have. Maybe you are here listening to me. You do not have a vision to start anything. Maybe you are part of the YPG people. But whatever you find yourself doing, do it well. David was taking care of sheep. I don't know the number of sheep they were, but I don't think they were about 1,000 sheep. Whatever he was doing it well. He could fight bears and lions just for sheep. So when God said, find me a man to lead Israel, he was available. So whatever little thing you are doing, don't do it haphazardly. Don't do it lackadaisically. Do it well. So that when he says that, find me, let me use the men are too excited, let me use woman. Find me a woman. Then Constance will be available for use. Please, I hope you get me. Yeah. So whatever you are doing, whether your corporate environment, your church, your youth group, your family, feed your family. And what I'm sharing with you, I hope it's something that you can even share with your children. My son Miles, Dr. Monroe impacted me so much. I named my boy Miles. And I've already started. At home, he's just singing worship songs. He's 2 years old. He's 2 years old. Because I want to prepare him such that one day when Find Me a Man comes up, he will be willing and available. So I'm just here today to inspire you briefly, and I'm just one more minute. I shared my story because here in Africa, here in Ghana, things are a bit difficult to do. I mean, it's not even that easy. If you're an entrepreneur here, you know it's hard. You have to work twice or thrice as hard, you know. And sometimes in the midst of all the chaos, you are tempted to ignore what you are born to. But leadership is, this is how I define leadership, directing your gift to the service of your world. Whatever gift you came to earth with, if you direct that gift to serve your world, that is leadership. It's not about a position at the top over there. It's not about that. So whatever you are born to, and in the midst of the chaos, it can be very difficult. Do you know, when I started 1 Million Africa, by the way, we exceeded 7 years just December 13th, we're now in our 8th year. And the journey has been amazing. 2 mentors discouraged me. They told me, my girlfriend at the time told me, Calvin, he said, this thing you've taken on, you will die very I don't know if this is on Facebook, but if she watches it, we are still close friends. I'm so sorry, they made me say it. I'm saying you will get so many discouragement, especially in this part of the world. So many. But guess what? Don't give up. See it as that bear or that lion whose mouth you are opening. See it as you responding to a find me a man call. Whenever the call comes, find me a man, means there is a need. There is a need for that man. So I'm just here to inspire you for the few minutes. Leadership is finding or directing the gifts you have to the service of your world. Whatever gifts you have, please first discover it, but when you discover it, make sure that along your life, you direct those gifts to the service of your world. It could be as simple as maybe you're a poet. You have some poems. Poems are powerful. The poem Invictus kept Nelson Mandela in prison. It kept him mentally sane. Poems are powerful. It can be a song. Songs are powerful. It can be starting a vision. Powerful. It can be anything at all. But make sure you direct that to the service of your work. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. We are born for a purpose, and leadership is what taking initiative and directing your gift to serve the world. That's very powerful. Thank you, Prince, so much. I'm glad my father can be here to be an inspiration to you all. Our next speaker, I'm so excited to introduce this person, because he's actually my better half, my partner in crime. Yeah. Alexander Yanyi Ankara has over 10 years industrial experience in internal and external audits, internal control processes, improvements, not-for-profit audits, and tax returns and fraud investigation. He's a partner at VIA LC, Miles Advisory, and a senior consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers. He holds an MBA in Forensic Accounting and Fraud Investigation from the Southern New Hampshire University. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my husband.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Right. I'm so happy to be here and be a part of this organization. Welcome, Mr. Che. Yeah, and thank everybody for being here today. I really appreciate you all for coming. I know a couple of you guys were at work, right? And you've been able to make it here. It's not easy with the traffic in town and everything. So, while Chris was speaking, I just caught something. I just caught two things that if they're looking for someone, are you going to be available, to do the work? And then the second thing is, if you are asked to do something, do it with all your might, do it well. I think that is what a lot of people, a lot of us, I wouldn't even take myself out. We fought or we falter in that area. So when we find ourselves doing something, it might not be as lucrative as we were expecting it to be. So we kind of slack along the way, with some lackadaisical attitude, or it's not bringing me much, so let me just do it anyhow, anyway. But we forget that Life is a journey, right? And so whatever we do now informs what or how we turn out in a couple of years, in a couple of days, in a couple of months, right? So leadership, the topic of leadership actually is intertwined with what I want to share briefly, mentorship. I am a speaker like friends, I'm an accountant, so I'm a man of few words, so bear with me. All right. So I'll start by explaining the meaning of mentorship. What is mentorship? Mentorship is the guidance provided by a mentor, especially an experienced person in a company or an educational institution. And what is a mentee? A mentee is a person who is advised, trained, or counseled by a mentor. Now, I'm happy I'm speaking on this topic, mentorship. I'm going to share my life story along the line, it's quite in the middle. And I'm happy to have my partner here, from Alex Advisory, we have a similar story. So, So I'll continue by touching on the qualities of a good mentor. Mentors are supposed to be enthusiastic, right? I'm going to mention and hit on every point I put out there and try to explain some of them, if not all, because the moderator gave me 10 minutes, I believe. So mentors are supposed to be enthusiastic. A mentor should fit you. Mentors value learning, not all-knowing. Mentors encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. Mentors are active listeners. Mentors treat others respectfully, and then they are experts in their field. So what do we mean if we say mentors are enthusiastic? You see, when you are looking for a mentor, you are supposed to look for someone who is happy, who is excited, who is enthused about helping you succeed. Right? Not everybody has the right attitude to be a mentor. So you have to find someone who is enthused. Maybe you are an accounting student, you are a broadcaster. You're supposed to find someone who is happy, who is in the field and happy to help you succeed. It's not everybody that is able to, be in the position of a mentor. Enthusiasm breeds a lot of things. It breeds commitment, it breeds availability and everything. So it's holistic. Someone who is happy. Oh, you want me to be your mentor? That is exciting. Oh, we have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to do. So we're gonna have fun. Someone who is actually happy to be a part of your success story. And a mentor should fit you. Mentors being fitting you is, you as an accounting student or an auditor, I don't think it is prudent to pick up someone who is a medical doctor as a mentor, right? It's a sharp contrast. So you have to find someone who is seasoned in his work, all right? Seasoned in the work of finance, in the work of accounting. That should fit what you want to be. If you want to be a seasoned accountant, you don't go in for a mentor who is a pharmacist. You don't go in for a mentor who is a medical doctor or a mentor who is a communicator, right? I started by saying accountants are short speaking people. Like, we don't speak much, so you find people who you aspire to be. All right, you aspire to be. Mentors value learning. They are not all knowing. So a mentor should be able to learn also from the mentee. All right. We all don't know anything. I mean, up to this stage, I don't know everything. I still learn from a couple people that are still below me in terms of profession or in terms of people that I'm older than. So mentors value learning. In this life, life is a life of continuous learning. You never stop learning. All right, we keep learning every day. So the fact that you are mentoring someone does not mean that you are all knowing and you know a whole lot than the person. So a mentor, a good mentor, should value learning, all right? So should also humble himself enough to learn from the mentee. Mentors encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. You should also find someone who will tell you to take a risk, all right? Not that, okay, my mentee wants to do this, and my mentor has agreed to do this. No. You know, there are several ways to kill a cat, they say. You know, there are several ways to get to a destination. And so, your mentor should be able to equip you, all right? Practically should equip you and encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, try new things, try new avenues, just to help you get and guide you to get to your destination. All right, it's not supposed to be a one-way traffic that, hey, okay, we are doing this, and so this is how we're going to do it. So mentors are supposed to be open to suggestions, you know, even outside the box, outside the original plan. So we try to see if this works or not. All right, it's not supposed to be a straitjacket journey. Mentors should be active listeners. I'm not going to touch more on this active listening. Obviously, active listening is a key fundamental part of leadership, you know, if Prince will agree. So our leaders have to listen, you know, in this part of our world. I don't know whether our leaders listen, but yeah. We have to, they don't listen. Yeah, so, yeah, we have to be, mentors have to be active listeners, treat others respectfully. You are supposed to respect your mentee, you know, not to look down upon your mentee that, oh, I'm older than him, I'm higher in qualification than him, in terms of profession or in terms of life. No, we are supposed to treat each other respectfully. They are experts in their field, as I said. If you want to be an accountant, if you want to be a seasoned accountant, you don't go in for a seasoned gynecologist to be your mentor, right? So if you want to be a seasoned doctor, you don't go in for a seasoned auditor or accountant to be your mentor. And then others, being a mentor, should be flexible, should value diversity of perspectives. That goes into what I said here, as in they have to diversify. You know, they don't have to be rigid in their planning and in their ways. So they shouldn't be judgmental. They are able to give constructive feedback. One good qualities of a mentor is being able to give you constructive feedback. So a mentor is supposed to look at your situation, look at what he's doing with you, you know, whatever project you are on with, and give you constructive feedback that, hey, you don't do it this way, maybe let's do it this way, you do it this way, it will go well, you know, constructive feedback. Feedback that will guide you and put you on the right path to success. So now we come to the mentee. This is where I might share my life story with you from my mentor. Qualities of a good mentee. So, a good mentee should have personal commitment. A lot of the Ghanaian folks like that, you know, personal commitment, and it aligns with Prince's submission that said availability, you know, and doing something well. Personal commitment. You are supposed to be committed to the job, committed to whatever you are working on with your mentor. All right, you have to be committed to whatever project you are working on, whatever you want to build, wherever you want to get to. So if you try to get into it with your mentor, make sure you are committed in all the ways. Flexibility. Now you have to be flexible. You should know that your mentor is a high-level person. He's a leader. All right. So you, the mentee, should be flexible in a way to fit yourself in your mentor's itinerary. All right. So you have to be flexible. Today you call someone and you know they are nowhere to be found. You know, a lot of the students. You know, but a whole lot of work gets into this. Flexibility, openness, willing to accept feedback. Mentors always give constructive feedbacks, all right? You have to see feedbacks as corrective measures, not not something to degrade you or put you to deprive you of your success or make you feel bored or make you feel bad. Constructive feedback is always good. If you have a mentor and you don't receive constructive feedback from them, then there's something wrong. Be proactive. Mentees are supposed to be proactive. Bring up relevant matters to discuss with your mentor. You don't have to wait on your mentor to bring up a topic that, hey, what are we doing? Hey, can you do this? You, the mentee, have to do your research most of the time, because mentees, most of the time, people who are busy and might not necessarily forget you, but they are busy, so you have to bring up something to discuss. Do your research about whatever he's mentoring you on, and then you guys can go far. Be open-minded, be curious and engaged. It all aligns with being proactive, and then take initiative. Take initiative. Don't wait to receive a call from your mentor and then you tell him, oh, we wanted to do this, I wanted to do this. So if the mentor had not called you, you wouldn't have told him that, hey, I wanted to do this, how can I do it? So you always have to take initiative. Even if outside your normal schedule, you can shoot your mentor an email, or you can send him a text, I tried to do this, or can we try to do this separately? Can we try this project also separately? Be professional. Be professional. Don't ignore mentors' attempts to get in touch with you. Read emails. In this part of our world, it's like email is like a sin. So we don't like reading emails at all. We have to develop a conscious effort of reading emails. All right, it's a very significant and basic skill that we have to do. Be accustomed to. Read emails as often as possible. So I don't think I'm gonna share all the slides, but these are the most important things. So I'm gonna share my life story with you. Let's read through quickly with the 3 A's of mentorship: available, analytical, and active listening. So you have to be available. Both the mentor and the mentee have to be available for each other. They have to be analytical, all right? They have to be analytical. Whatever project you're working on, you make sure that you are thinking together, you are reasoning together, okay? And then active listening. Active listening should be on both parties. The mentor should be active in listening, and then the mentee should also be active in listening. Active listening is really important. The 3 C's of mentorship: clarity, communication, and commitment. So there should be clarity between both parties. If your mentor doesn't understand anything, you have to clarify. The same goes to the mentee. Communication has to be rampant and clear. Very, very, very crisp communication. And then the commitment. Both the mentor and the mentee have to be committed to the project or the program. So I think that this should be my last slide, but yeah, it boils down to the fact that the 3 important items between a mentor and a mentee should be trust, truth, and honesty. So this should be more like the background or the bed on which the mentee-mentor relationship should be built on, right? So I'm going to share I know you guys are eager to hear my life story, but yeah. Yeah, so coming out to the mentorship, I once worked with this famous accountant called E.E. Kwesi. I don't know, maybe some of you might have heard his name before. My partner my partner knows what I'm talking about. E.E. Kwesi. So what I'm trying to say is mentorship or mentee, being in a position of a mentee is a journey, all right? So you don't just come up and be the person you want to be. It's a long journey. So I worked under this man called E.E. Kwesi, a seasoned accountant. And I was understanding him, you know, he was my mentor. My partner and I were mentees under this man. So he was always like, okay, he always told us this. You have to be serious with what you're doing. And I know I'm not paying you well, right? But if you take whatever you're learning seriously, you would get to where you want to be. You'll be a very seasoned accountant, and you know how to handle money. These were the words he used to say. Crazy. And it was so difficult. We understudied him for over 10 years. Yeah, you can imagine, 10 years. How many of the young guys today can understudy someone for 10 years, being in a professional institution, 10 years, and your pay, your salary? I think then our salary was like, it was like 700 cedis. 700 cedis a month. Tyrone, that's like $120 a month. I don't know how you can survive on that in US. 700 cedis a month. And after now, I call my partner and I ask him that. I don't know how we used to survive them. I think we were magicians. 700 cedis a month for over 10 years. My pay was 700 cedis a month. So you can imagine from the first, second year how much I was earning. There's nothing home to write. You can imagine, right? It's funny, but you know, the story I want to share here is it's patience. It's patience, it's commitment, it's committing yourself to learning from the person, all right? It's patience, it's commitment, just keep on going, don't relent, you know, and finding yourself in that particular situation doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You will come out of it. So whatever you find yourself doing in that particular point in time, do it well and do it with all your might, right? Today, I found myself somewhere else. I know my wife was reading, oh, he's a partner of IIA LLC, he's a partner of this, yeah, but it came with hard work. So I would encourage, especially the young, is it the YPG? Young professional group, whatever we are trying to do in TEI, you might see that, oh, maybe sometimes you might have said in your mind, oh, what at all is this? Oh, what benefits am I going to have from this? But believe you me, just do whatever you're supposed to do diligently, and some few years down the line, you will see the benefits thereof. I think I'll end here. Thank you.
Networking is a great tool in advancing your career, expanding your contacts, and personal growth. YPG is creating a platform which will give you the opportunity building meaningful and lasting contacts. Our next speaker will be sharing light on the importance of networking. Peter Kwejo Asanyako is a financial literacy advocate and educator, auditor, actor, personal finance, and business coach. He founded the Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, a non-profit organization that is significantly improving financial awareness and financial literacy in Ghana and Africa. He ran Pecan Capital Consulting as an income generator to support his social work. He is passionate about empowering, educating, and teaching his generation to help them build and achieve their financial success and happiness and to live a fulfilling life. He is a graduate of the University of Professional Studies, Ankara. Ladies and gentlemen, please help
Hello. I hope you are doing good.
Yes.
So before today, who have met me before or come across my work? If you have met me before, raise your hand. Okay. I think I'm not doing well with my networking skills. Because there's this profound statement that says that your network is your net worth. And so today I'm talking about networking. Unfortunately, I couldn't put my slides together. I was in Kumasi and I came this done. So I have a brief note on my phone that I will go through. But I believe this should help us improve our networking skills. So when we talk about networking, most people do not understand networking. I went to IPMC, I did a bit of IT at IPMC, and I read networking and system engineering. Networking here is not about connecting your IP addresses. Networking here is not about building your pipeline. That is network marketing. Today we are talking about professional networking, where you are able to build relationships, you are able to build contacts that you can ask favor in your professional life. So I'm talking about professional networking. Professional networking is when you build relationships with other professionals, both in your career field and in other related fields. Networking allows you to foster relationships with others that are mutually beneficial to the careers of you and those in your network. So using myself as an example, networking has really helped me. I see myself as a networker. I try as much as possible to connect with like-minded, positive individuals. That's how come I'm here today. We connected online, and I decided to build that network. I have team members across Africa. We just signed an MOU with Lagos Business School to establish the International Improving Financial Awareness and Financial Literacy Research Center. This was through a network I built over time. So when we wanted to get into the Nigerian economy, we just have to talk to the person I built the network with, for him to also connect us to Lagos Business School. In April this year, we launched the International Improving Financial Awareness and Financial Literacy Research Center at University of Ghana Business School. And that was also through a network. When I wanted to go to University of Ghana, I had already built a network with one doctor, Dr. Benjamin Amwan. So when I shared the idea with him, it was easy getting the job done. So that is how come networking can help your professional life. So let me talk about various ways you can build your network, or various locations you can connect with people. One is networking events, like this one. Before you leave here, you should be able to build networks. You should be able to connect with people. You should be able to leave here with at least 10 contacts. I hope you are going to do that.
Sure.
We should leave here with at least 10 contacts. Your college alumni class and associations. You can build your network through your college alumni class and associations. So when you go to University of Ghana, you have the University of Ghana Alumni Association. UPSA have the association. So your school that you graduated from, you should be able to connect with your fellow professionals. Small groups or teams composed of professionals. So let's say you are part of a cafe club, you are part of a gym, you should be able to build networks there. To be able to build networks there. Conferences and expos. So there was a time I wanted to connect with Dr. Papa Kwesindu. And I was very intentional about connecting with him. And I saw that an organization was running the program and he was one of the speakers. And the organization was taking 250 Ghana cedis. My focus was to connect with Dr. Papa Kwesindu. So then I need to pay for this conference and get access to Papa Kwesindu. So conferences and expos are also ways you can connect with people that you want to connect with. Your current job, at your workplace, you need to connect with people. Because you don't know your co-worker, where that person will be 2, 3, 5 years time. You might need just a reference. You might need just an endorsement. There was a time I connected with a woman. She's the founder of Makola Foundation, and she works with MPSSI. She was a facilitator. So I connected with her, and over time I kept that network. So there was a time they were looking for facilitators, and she just had to mention my name, recommend me, and I received a call from MPSSI, and now I'm a facilitator for MPSSI, now Ghana Enterprise Agency. So this is what networking can do. So you need to connect with people. Social events, online social media sites that are geared towards professionals. LinkedIn, I've connected with a lot of people on LinkedIn. My social enterprise, Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, we are now in partnership with the Financial Awareness Foundation in the US. And I connected with them through LinkedIn. I connected with the executive director through LinkedIn. I saw one of their posts. They were talking about financial awareness. So when I saw the post, I decided to do a bit of research. When I did my research, I had their email, and I sent an email to the organization. This is what I'm doing in Ghana, and this is where I want to take the vision to. And you're also expanding your initiative across Africa. So can we collaborate and work together to champion this cause? And they said, yes, we can do this together. And from 2018, together with the Financial Awareness Foundation, we are in 7 African countries. This is what networking can do. So we need to take advantage of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Who should you include in your professional network? Who should you include in your professional network? College professors. You need to include your lecturers, your teachers, people who have taught you or mentored you over time. You need to include them in your professional network. Because you might need a recommendation. And these are the people who are going to write that for you. So you need to include them in your professional network. Previous classmates. You need to also include them in your professional networks. Your friends. You are the sum total of the first 5 people you relate with. So the first 5 people you relate with is who you are. So who are your friends? So in building your network, you need to be intentional about the kind of friends you keep around you. I read accounting, and so most of my friends are accountants. Because if I need something, they are the people I'm going to ask. I'm the youth president of my church, so most of my friends are youth presidents at other assemblies because I need to communicate with them to get new insights. So in building your network, you need to select your friends according to where you are going. Members of a professional club or associations, these are people you can also build your network with. Your family, your wife, your husband, your siblings, you need to also include them in your network. Now let me touch on how can your professional network help your career? How can your professional network help your career? One, it helps you find candidates for job positions. So let's say you have started a business, you have started an organization, and you need an accountant. Because within your network, you have an accountant, it will be easy to get an accountant. Because within your network, you have a marketer, it will be easy to get a marketer. So my friend is here, he runs an organization, and because we build a network, I'm now managing his accounting services. This is what networking can do. Learning about job openings. So when you build your network, you're able to get information about what is happening within your field. What is happening within your field. So as an accountant, if my friends or my network has a lot of accountants, I'll be able to know what is going on in the field of accountancy. If you're a marketer, if your friends are in marketing, you'll get new ideas on marketing. And then another thing I want to talk about is providing professional advice. Providing professional advice. Within your network, you can get a lot of people who provide you professional advice. So for instance, when you wanted to establish a research center, because the doctor is already into research, it was easy getting advice from him. So once you build your network, you get access to all this. Finding out about potential clients. So within your network, if you build your network, it is easy to sell your service, it is easy to sell your products. So I was having a conversation with a friend, and I told him in 2022, let's raise 1 million Ghana cedis. And he said, how are we going to do that? And I said, let's build a network to 1 million people. So if you have 1 million people in your network, and you have a product that sells for 1 Ghana cedis, if you sell that product to all the people in your network, you are making 1 million Ghana cedis. So it comes back to the statement, your network is your net worth. Now let me talk about some professional tips that can help your networking. Focus on reaching out to the right professionals. If you are going to Kaswa, you can't use Tema Road or motorway. So you need to focus on where you are going. You need to focus on your journey. If I want to raise a community of financial literate, then I need to surround myself with organizations that are geared towards the same mission. If you are an architecture, you need to surround yourself with people who have that skill set, people who are pursuing that profession. So focus on reaching out to the right professionals. Stay in touch. So I've been to a lot of networking programs. People will take your card, people will take your numbers, and it ends there. If you want to build your network, you need to stay in touch. You need to stay in touch. Mostly on WhatsApp. These are some of the ways I do to stay in touch with my network. Maybe I'll see you post your status. I'll just give you a thumbs up. I'll just say something. So the more you do that, the other person who also thinks about you. I'll share a powerful financial literacy book with you. That will also reminds you of what I do. So you need to stay in touch with your network. Help out your contacts. Don't just be a taker, be a giver. Give out advice, give out opportunities. If you see something that will benefit your network, share with them. And once you do that, you will always be in touch with your network. Say thank you. It's very important. In our part of the world, most people find it difficult to say thank you. But it's very important to show appreciation, to show gratitude. When someone does something for you, just say thank you. A handshake, but we are in COVID. So you can just give a high five or 2 fingers in the air. Oh, 2 fingers in the air, give me 2 fingers in the air. Yes. So networking is a powerful tool that you can use to grow your professional life. You can use to build your business. You can use, and as a financial guy, I say you can use to make more money. If you want to make more money in 2022, connect with more people and let them know what you do. Thank you very much.
We learn about networking and Mr. Jojo gave us some great tips. Can one of you or 2 people give me something that you picked up from what he said? He said a lot of things. Just 2. Oh, come on.
Okay, so basically what I learned is learning to stay in touch with people. As people measure with it. Because I feel as if it's very key in the society, and it helps the young people.
So all the young professionals here, just learn to connect with all the professionals here. Like, who else?
I also learned that we have to help our contacts. It's not that we always have to take from them, but we have to also give to them. Rise them and all that.
Awesome. Also give out your contact as well. Thank you, Gilbert. All right, so our next speaker, Mr. Michael Ingram, is a chartered accountant with over 10 years experience in financial management, auditing, tax advisory, risk management. He currently works as a regional audit manager at World Vision International in charge of Ghana, Central Africa Republic, and Chad. He's a partner at Malice Advisory, a business consultancy firm, and a co-founder of Malice Farm and Investment. Michael is a dedicated peer and youth coach, speaking at various youth forums such as Ghana Methodist Students Union Conference. He's aspired to inspire the next generation of African leaders. Please help me welcome Michael Ingram.
Okay, so good afternoon. And my technician will help me. Thank you. So it's quite difficult to have somebody who is not rich to talk about financial or to talk about money. But I think we'll be able to do something by the grace of God. So the next topic, we've heard about leadership, mentoring, networking, and we are going to talk about financial management. I mean money. I think money is good, so we all need to learn how to make money. And one of the things that I want to say is that if we really want to develop as people, or as a country, or as a continent, we can only do that through proper financial management. Because when the white people, quote unquote, come here and invest, they take the money back. So it is only when we are able to really learn how to save and make money internally, that's when we'll be able to develop ourselves, our families, our community, and then also the country. So I'll start by taking us through, and I think because myself I'm not rich, we are taking through this together to learn how to make money. And I want to talk about some famous quotes on money or financial management. The first one says that work hard until it pays, because poverty hits much more. I think I heard this from the Rwandan president. So we need to really work hard until we see the pain, because the truth is that poverty hits much more. So if you really look back, and as well as we were at Spacey, and you can see that indeed poverty hits much more. So we need to really work at it to make sure that we don't experience poverty. The next one I want to talk about is that things don't turn up in this world until somebody turns them up. So if you really want to make money, money will not fly from heaven. You really need to work at it and really make some changes in your life and in your lifestyle, so that you will experience true financial breakthrough. The next quote is from the famous book, The Richest Man in Babylon. It said, money is governed today by the same laws that control it when prosperous men enthroned the streets of Babylon 6,000 years ago. So essentially what we are saying here is that the rules of money does not change. The way the rich men in the Bible made money is the same principle that when we also apply, we can use to make money. The rules of money does not change, and it has not changed. And I'm not sure it's going to change. So we just need to learn certain basic principles, and I'm sure we can raise billionaires and in this country, and even among this group. Amen. So the next quote I want to talk about is that it said, the lean purse is easier to cure than to endure. So just like the first one. A lean purse, when your purse is lean, it is easier for you to cure and make it a fatter or a bigger purse than to endure the lean purse. So please, we can cure, it is easier for us to cure poverty than to endure poverty. It is easier for us to cure difficulty than to endure. So we actually need to put in effort to make sure that we change our situations and we change our financial situations as well. The next one, which for me is the most powerful one, that's why I've highlighted it blue, is within any income, there's a food and there's a seed. Please don't eat your seed as part of the food. Within every income, there is a food and there's a seed. I beg you, don't eat the seed as part of the food. And the good book also tells us that the plan of the diligent leads to profit, as surely as a haste leads to poverty. So we need to be diligent with our financial management, and I'm sure we can raise a lot of financial breakthrough persons in the near future. Whilst I was preparing for this, I tried to look at what really makes people rich. What has over the years made people rich? And I got to know that it looks like Forbes has tried to rank how people make rich. And in fact, the truth is that it was employees who are the less people I don't know, more closer to poverty than to riches. So from employees, you come to professionals. Professionals, I mean, you're a child accountant, you're a medical doctor, a professional medical doctor, you're an architect, you're a professional because you earn more when you become a professional. And normally your working years are much longer. So that makes you more richer. And then the next people are who invest in companies or entrepreneurs. But the truth is that a lot of the monies we see around are intergenerational wealth or they are true life insurance. So if you look at Ghana, if you talk about the Kufuagos, it's a generational wealth. If you talk about the Dapos, it's a generational wealth. And a lot of the people that you talk about and you can really see that these people are rich, they are generational wealth. So the point that I want to put out here is that we might not necessarily be able to achieve where we want to go, but we need to set the tone and the platform for our generations to be able to continue, so that we, even when we are not there or we are inactive, we are able to actually build the family wealth onto the level that it's supposed to be. And the other side also is that, please, when you have the opportunity to manage a generational wealth or a fund, please don't mess up with it, because your action or inaction at that point can actually affect generations to come. So I want us to talk about the act of financial management. And I dare say that the act of financial management is a habit and it's a lifestyle that you actually need to cultivate, and it has to be part of your life. Because it's not just a step, it's a journey. And a journey needs to be part of your life, and you have to communicate, cultivate saving as part of your daily activities. So you can only build your finances. Of course, I've seen that a lot of the profile, Alex an accountant, I mean, so let me be careful. But you can actually build your finances only through accumulation of your funds over a period of time through savings. So you can only make money by putting money aside. So you don't eat your food, your seed as part of the food, but you put the seed, you plant the seed, and as the seeds are growing, that is how you make money. And this you can do by actually increasing your income. If that's your expense is constant, then you actually need to increase the income. So the addition to the income will increase your savings, and that means the more you increase your income with your savings being constant, it means you are making more money. Or on the flip side, you can keep your income constant and reduce your costs. And as you reduce your costs, the difference between them becomes bigger, and your savings can be bigger, and you'll be able to make a lot of money. The third point is that you also need to, either you have to now increase your income or your funds at a higher rate or at a faster rate than your revenue. So if I'm changing, okay, so this month in December, if I'm increasing my revenue or my expenses by, let's say, 1,000 cedis, then I have to increase my income by 2,000 cedis. So now the difference of 1,000, which is more than the increase in the expenses, I can put that into savings and I can make more money from that. I want us to, of course, we all know that financial management is good. And I don't want us to spend so much time to talk about the benefits and all those things. But I want us to learn some few lessons on financial management. First, you have to save before you spend. If you really want to make money, you have to save. Because money is in such a way that when you have money, if you don't take time, you will spend it. So this week, Alex had some money with me and I said, Alex, please come for your money before I consume it. Because the way things are going, you have to save. So you always need to set up your system in such a way that You can use, there are so many alternatives. You can use your the bank direct debit. You can ask your bankers to set up an investment fund for you. You can even use the traditional susu box. So when you get your money, you put part of it into that box, or you put that money, part of the money, into your savings or investment account. Before now, the remaining, you look at how you will spend it. Alex was saying how we used to live on 700. Actually, I was learning less. Alex was my senior, actually. I was earning less. But money is in such a way that if you have less, you know how you are going to manage. And the risk is that normally, as we are increasing our income, we tend to increase our expenses because we don't spend on need, we spend on wants. Because your needs are not going to change even when your finances change. But your wants are always going to change when your finances change. So please just be guarded. Spend on your needs and don't spend on your wants. So if it's just about, and COVID has taught us that about the essentials of this world, probably food and housing. All other things probably are secondary. Because when COVID was really intense, all the shoes, all the nice dresses, all the cars were not moving. So essentially, we need to look at our needs and then spend money on them. Please, and if you don't remember anything, remember this from me, from today, that never get broke to look rich. Never get broke to look rich. Please don't impress anybody. The journey to financial literacy is a long haul. And the essence is that we only don't need to necessarily look rich when we are actually broke. Look rich when indeed you are rich. And spend on luxurious or fanciful things when you can really afford one. If you need food to eat and you're a student, bush canteen is available. There's no need to impress anybody with a KFC or whatever. The focus is, I want to get a food. So you need to get a food, and you need to stop. If you need a car, you can get a car. You know, there's no need, there's no pressure for you to go and get any fanciful thing. Please never get broke to look rich. And also, it really makes sense to when you start investing in low risky investments. So things like treasury bill, which are very less risky. Mutual fund, if you are going into mutual fund, then you go into money income products, which are less risky. So it is actually sensible to start investing with less risky investment product. And if it is possible, please get multiple sources of revenue or multiple sources of income. Some of us who are professionals and we work, we also need to adopt and see if we can invest in other things that can also get us money. If you have to go into consultancy, work at night to be able to make some few coins, which we call galamsey, you can do so to be able to make some money. And please start your pensions now. The good book actually talks about this in Genesis chapter 41, verses 34 to 36. So please start up your pensions early. I started by saying that a lot of the monies we see, or the rich families we see, are actually generational wealth. And it is because those families actually build pensions and life insurance for their families. So please, we need to start our pensions very early as possible. And avoid debt. Avoid debt as possible. So let's minimize debt. Of course, we accountants know that when you are an entrepreneur, debt is actually a cheaper option. But when you are not in business, you don't need to borrow to fancy and then to impress anybody. And the last thing I will say is that please turn your salaries or regular income into investments. Turn your regular income into savings. Turn your savings into investments. Your investment into business. Your business into inheritance. And your inheritance into generational wealth. Thank you very much. But please never get broke. And remember that within any income that you earn, there is a seed and there is food. Please don't eat the food with the seed. Amen.
Please give it up for them. Never get broke to be rich. I remember my insurance lecturer would be like, there are two gamblers, one with the last 1,000 cedis, another with 1,000 cedis. You have to gamble. If this one loses, this one will take the 1,000 cedis, and this one, if another person loses, another person will take the 1,000 cedis, and then he said, you losing the money pays more than you gaining the money. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Next speaker is going to talk about time management. Tyrone is the CEO of American Rejuvenation Clinic. He has extensive medical career in the USA. He has vast experience in health marketing and management. He specializes in anti-aging and general health care in Ghana and have years of experience in the testosterone replacement therapy field. After years of running a hormonal replacement clinic in Columbus, Ohio in the USA and experiencing the year of attaining in Ghana, he was encouraged to set up American Rejuvenation Clinic located at East Legon. Tyrone attended RETS Medical School and Ohio State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcome Tyrone Jamal.
It's a pleasure to be here today. You introduced me well. My name is Tyrone Jamal. I'm the CEO of American Rejuvenation Clinic, located in East Legon. I've been in Ghana for about four years on and off. I've been here permanently for about 2 years. I have some experience in a lot of different fields. I specialize in medical though. So our clinic in East Legon, we focus on preventative medicine, and then we also focus on anti-aging and hormonal replacement therapy. But today, I'm not here to talk about medical. We'll talk about time management. And I didn't have a slide prepared, but I do have some notes here for you guys. So when it comes to time management, we know time is a very precious thing to all of us. It's something that we can't get time back. So once we waste it, it's gone. We only live so long. So one of the most important things to learn about time is that we're in full control of our time. So even though time moves fast, sometimes we waste time, we spend time unwisely, we are in control of our time. So a lot of people, they know there's a saying that time flies. We heard that saying. I know everybody's heard that saying before, that time flies. But if it's flying, who is the pilot? So we're the pilots of our own time. We control whether we waste it or if we use it effectively. So I try to make it easy today and bring 9 points on how we can organize and be effective at time management. So the first one is how do we start our days? So when we think about how we start our days, that's going to be quite effective in how we manage our time for the day. So one of the most important things in starting our day is how much sleep did we get prior? So if we don't get our sleep prior to starting the day, then we're already starting off at a disadvantage. So sleep is very important. And also another thing is that we must, when we wake up kind of late in the day, or we set the snooze button on our alarm clock over and over. Sometimes what happens is we get up in a rush. So we get up in a panic phase. Oh, I have to hurry up and do this and that, and it didn't give us the time to properly plan our days out, or even to sit and reflect on the things that may have happened prior, or even to get some peace of mind before we go. So making sure we get to bed on time and waking up on time is very effective. So the next one, number 2, is how we should have clear plans for our days. So this can be done in keeping daily planners. I know a lot of people have to-do lists that they have every day where you mark down what items take priority. Calendar is also something that can be effective. So a lot of people, we have these apps on our phone now. We're living in a technology age. So we have apps that make it also easy for us to schedule our days out, keeps our calendars for us. So all those things are very important to make sure that we use our time appropriately. Another one is to minimize, this is number 3, to minimize non-essential tasks. So a lot of times when you write your planner out for the day, you'll see, you may see folding your clothes on there or some other things, which these things are important. But if we know we have a deadline to make, we need to push those things up higher on the list so that we can get those things done first. So non-essential tasks you should also always label them accordingly. So on your daily planning or your calendar, you can use highlighters or things to highlight which ones take priority. Another one that I found effective personally for me is to break your task into small pieces. So if let's say you want to be a YouTuber and you just make on your daily task list, so I'm going to film a YouTube video or a whole series. You know that that's not going to be possible. So when you see the list, when you see that on your list, you become discouraged and you'll keep pushing it down on the list. So I'll get to that tomorrow or the next day. But when you break it down into small pieces, it makes it easier to accomplish our goals. So instead of saying I'm going to film a YouTube series or a YouTube video, you could say, hey, today I'm going to come up with the topics of the things that I'm going to speak about on my YouTube video. So that's one thing that I found effective for me. Number 5 would be delegation. Some of us may not have the ability to delegate as much as other people, but even if your friend or family member, if you can get your little brother to do your laundry, or you can get your sister to help prepare a meal for you, these things all help, and it allows you to achieve more things on your to-do list. Number 6 was to be planning time for meals, recreation, socializing, and exercising. So, and this is very important because we only have so much mental capacity for the day. So I know everybody wants to be the next Elon Musk, but we have to take time and rest our brain. So by scheduling times so that we can, even throughout the day, take a break before we get to the next thing. So if you're I think there's a good rule that's swap at 25. After 25 minutes, you can just schedule 5 minutes just to take a rest, mental rest. And this is not meaning to get on your smartphone and to get on Instagram or Facebook. because these things actually are also damaging to us cognitively. So you need to, when we say take a rest, it means to rest your brain, not to use Instagram and start looking up what everyone else is doing. It means to literally either meditate, take a nap, get something to drink, walk around the neighborhood. That's the proper way to rest your brain. But to engage in social media or watch TV is not the most effective way to rest your brain so that you can be more effective and recharge for the next task. Number 7 will be after every big push, every big achievement, we need to set a reward for ourselves. So anytime we make a big accomplishment, some of us are very ambitious, so we say, oh, that's nothing, let's get to the next thing. But when you continue to do that over and over and over again, your reward system in your brain because it doesn't fulfill itself. So then you get tired, and sometimes you take big lapses because you've already burnt yourself out. Because you've been working so hard and nothing's good has come. Because you haven't seen the money or you haven't seen the enjoyment from achieving those things. So every time we make a big achievement, we need to celebrate. Or we need to do something for ourselves that signifies a win in our brain. I like to say for number 8, I have what's called a 10-minute rule. So anything that we find maybe daunting or we feel like a task on our list that we just don't feel like getting to. Maybe we want to start on our next book, writing a book. If you can put just 10 minutes into that, 10 minutes, even if you say after 10 minutes, I'm done, I don't want to continue writing it. At least you put effort into doing it. And a lot of times what happens is, if we put 10 minutes in, we end up doing a lot more. So it becomes easier after that 10-minute mark. So even if you don't feel like doing it, just try to put 10 minutes into a task. And then number 9, this is the last tip, will be to end every day. End every single day with planning for the next day. So before you lay down and go to sleep for the night, try to plan your next day. And this is very effective because some of us, we have issues with sleeping because our brains are so busy worried about what's going to happen the next day. But once you physically write down those tasks for the next day and you come up with your to-do list for the next day, then it puts your mind at ease. Okay, I don't have to think about it. I can just go to sleep. Tomorrow I'll get to my list. But when you don't write things down and you don't plan your day accordingly, then what are you going to do? When you lay down, you'll be thinking about everything that happened today and everything that will happen the next day. And that in change causes us not to sleep enough, which causes us to go into this cycle of not being rested and not being productive. So that's pretty much a wrap for me. I just wanted to be short with you guys. I'm giving you some tips for time management.
You can do better for all our speakers. Every single one of you is coming hard right now. We're going to get ready to grab some food and then get to know other people as well if you came in late. So it's time for our dinner right now. Thank you.